Hello guys, and welcome back again to my channel. In case this is the first time you're stopping by, my name is Anekan and I make Jamb content, waec content, exam content in general, and mainly lifestyle content. Yes, I'm a medical student studying in Nigeria and I make a lot of lifestyle content. So guys, in today's video I decided to share my Jamb story. Yes, this video is going to be me telling you about my Jamb experience. I decided to put this out there just to give some sort of hope to someone. I wrote JAMB examination twice, so if you want to know why I had to take this exam twice, you have to stick to the end of this video. So guys, this is kind of me giving hope. This video actually doesn't have a structure, but I would honestly try to give it some sort of structure. And yeah, let's get into the story time, guys. So guys, do you like me with my lenses on or without my eyeglass? I don't know. It's just random. I just had to ask it. But anyway, guys, I wrote my first jam when I was in SS2 class. Yeah, I was in SS2 when I wrote my first examination. And what motivated me? A lot of people ask, what motivated you to write this exam? I mean, it's a really huge exam and you just covered like half of the syllabus. Honestly, I really wanted to, because when I was in SS1, I had seniors who were in SS2 who wrote their waec and their JAMB in SS2 and they did exceptionally well. And I feel like that kind of played a role in motivating me and telling me that, oh, if they can do it, I can also do it. Because they didn't even do SS3, they left the school, they got their admission, and yeah, I was just somehow hoping that that is the same thing that will happen to me. And I didn't even consider a lot of things. Okay guys, so aside that, when I got to SS2, I kind of felt like it wasn't going to be possible anymore, because the school had this like strict policy against it and stuff like that. So I honestly was so confused as to whether I would be able to still take the exam or not. Then I spoke to some of my friends, and one of my friend who wrote in SS2 was already in uni as at that time, because he was a class. I was in SS1, he was in SS2. So I called him and he was like, I should take this exam. Chidera, I know Chidera, you still, I'm sure he still watches my videos because I've seen his comments sometimes. He might see this, he might not. But anyway, Chidera, thank you so much for everything, for the encouragement, advice. He was like, I should certainly take the exam. I mean, JAM is a 1 day affair. If you compare it to waec is like week long stretch, but JAM is just 1 day. So you go in, you take the exam, and you're done. So he was certainly like, you should actually take this exam, and all that, all your mates are going to be taking it. And aside that, I think he was one of my motivating factor. I decided to like take this exam. I mean, just to try now. I mean, since it was not going to take me so long. So my dad came, he picked me up from school and registered me at home, because I schooled in a different state. I was in a boarding school, different state, different location, everything different. So after I took that exam, I just like left it, and I surprisingly finished with 273. Yes, I had a 273, which was very high for someone that class. I had amazing teachers, honestly. By the way, I had amazing teachers. Shout out to Mr. Femi, Mr. Joshua, Mr. I cannot even remember all of them now, but I know I had amazing teachers. So my dad came, he picked me up, I did the registration, then he took me back to school. Then I don't even remember whether, I think I did the registration during midterm break. It was a midterm break, so I could just do the registration and everything. So I now went back to school with the past question booklet. I had the past question booklet and I was practicing in school, and I was doing that with some SS3s, mainly Gloria. Yeah, shout out to Gloria too. It was very interesting. So we solved a lot of past questions together, and the day of the exam came. So shout out to Gloria. Gloria was amazing. So we kind of studied together. I read a lot of the past questions and I also studied along with her. She was in SS3, so I was in SS2, she was in SS3. So yeah, we studied together. I read a lot of the past questions. I solved as many as possible. So when the day of reprinting came, my dad reprinted and told me the date I was supposed to write my own exam. So he told me he was going to come and pick me from school so I can write the exam. That was how I decided to come back home. At home, I had some days before the exam, so I used it to practice on the computer system, that is using test driller, the test driller interface. So I solved as many questions as possible. Then locating the exam center wasn't so difficult because it was in Kefi. It was not very far from where I stay. So we decided to go there and take the exam. Literally, it was Federal Government College, Kefi. So that was where I went and I took the examination. When I went there, I was kind of nervous too because I've never taken this exam before. That was a new place. Like very, very nervous. Like I've never been there before. That was the first time. It was kind of, for me, it was a whole new experience entirely. But I had to like just brace up and go take the examination. So when I got in there, I've forgotten the various procedures. And I remember that was the year that we wrote Independence. It was in 2018. 2018, I read the book, the novel, the literature text that was given that year was Independence. So I remember I was literally reading the Independence in the car because the novel got boring at some point. But anyway, I went in, I took the examination. I had to like calm down, and I realized that some of the questions they asked were like repeated past questions. So that's why I keep on emphasizing on all of my Jam playlist series. Like if you have not watched my Jam playlist, I would advise you to go watch it. I keep emphasizing that you revise past question because that year it was like repetition of past question, like everything was like recycled. And that was my first Jam. After which I went back to school. I continued my schooling, like basically doing every other thing. At this point, I don't think I was thinking of waec yet. But when my Jam results came out, I remember vividly. I think I came to class early. I forgot what I was doing that day, but my dad had called my physics teacher, Mr. Femi, to tell me my score. So he came, he was very excited because 273 is very high for an SS2. It's really high for an SS2. It just simply means that the SS2 had put in extra work basically, because it's for me, I just think it was very high for an SS2. So when he came and he was very excited for me, like very, very excited. He told me my Jam score. Me too, I was so excited, and he was like, I did exceptionally well, and he thinks that university is already ready for me, honestly. And that was the thought of waec kicking in and everything. So I decided to like go on register for waec. My mom still said I should register for neco. So I registered for external exams in SS2 and I took the both of them. And if you're taking external exams, it's going to totally interrupt, especially waec. I think mainly why NECO might not interrupt your studies because it's usually NECO is kind of is taken when the school is not necessarily in session. It might enter into the initial week of session, but basically that is it. But WAEC is usually taken when school is in session. Can you imagine? So it interrupted my studying. I could not do SS2 third term. I could not do that. I did not do SS3. Like it was dicey for me. I had to like make decision to like really take that external examination. Like if I'm going to take it, I have to take it with my whole mind. So I had to join SS3. It's a very confusing situation, sha. But I had to like join SS3. Obviously not in the school I was studying. I had to go to another school, join the SS3s there and take this examination, of which I honestly don't regret it. But at the same time, I don't encourage anybody to do that because the plan was I was 14 then. I think I was 14. So 6 plus 14, if everything without ASU strike, everything, I should actually be finishing school 20, my early 20s, I'm done with school. Like that was honestly the plan. But the school, in how Nigeria works, you have to be 16 years before you get your admission, honestly, because even in my uni just the second school that I applied, the first school I was applying was University of Ilorin. They asked me to come for post UTME, which I did. I went for their post UTME. I took their post UTME exam. I had a 78%. That was 78 over 100. And a lot of people had, even my friend Chidera, who was already telling me, oh, you have gotten in already, for you to score that high. That is totally enough. But guess what, guys? I did not get admission. That was when I just realized that it is beyond the child's intelligence to get admission in this Nigeria. You have to have connection. And for me, I just honestly felt, okay, maybe it's because of my age, because there's a clause that in the is it in the JAM admission guideline that the child has to be 16 years. So I think maybe because I wasn't 16 yet, and I just started to like forget about that. It was a whole 1 year of me staying at home because it had already kind of messed up um with my whole academics. Like, because I had to, like I said, I had to leave the SS2 I was and join SS3. So it was like it was kind of messed up. That's why I said it's something I won't recommend. Like, I did not consider that the people who were writing the exams in SS2 were people who were a bit 16ish. They were already 16 at that point. And me, even if I finish my SS3, I'm finishing SS3 at 15. So I did not really consider that. So they were already 16 or around that age. So I decided to, just sit through that year and take the next jam, which I did. So if you want me to do a story time about my second jam, because after I took this second jam, I got into University of Jos, which I'm currently studying. And if you want me to do a video on that, please leave a comment down below and I will certainly do it. If you enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I just decided to do this video just to motivate someone, honestly, to tell someone that sometimes God's time is different from our time, and it's mainly boils down to, yes, some people will say luck, but I believe that God has the final say. I think at that point that was not necessarily the point, because now when I look back, I'm like, I was really really young. Anyway, it's all right. I just believe that things will fall into the right place for you. Like, everything will align itself for you. And yeah, that is my first story time. I'm going to give like a part 2 which I talk about my recent jam if you guys want it. I just want to see how this video does, or how you guys receive it first. Until my next video, guys, bye.